We live. We lit, we live. We lit, we live. Let's see who pull up in here, man. Put it in park. Press up, this up, we lit, we live. See who pull up in here and put it in park, man. Alright, man, we about to get this thing turned up. Man, we got enough of this. Oh, baby. We lit, we live. Let's see who pull up. I can make it work. I'm gonna have to make it work. We lit, we live. Let's see who pull up in here and put it in park, man. Donna, what they do? CJ, what's popping? BJ, what they do? I see Jersey in the building. What they do, man? Lou, what's good? Yeah, we about to get this thing cranked up. Prayers up, blessings up, man. So, today what we doing is Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. And I ain't doing Cooking and Thinking Thursdays in a minute. So, what I like to do for Cooking and Thinking Thursdays is I like to cook and I like to think. If you don't know me, my name is Jabez El Israel. I got to go to help over 1 million people get down to their natural body size and stay there for life. And I like to cook things that, hold on, I'm trying to get my book. Is it in your purse, man? Hold on, I'm coming right back. I like to cook things on Cooking and Thinking Thursday that the principles of my book, Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It, because I was able to lose 100 pounds, but I did it still eating the food that I like to eat. This was me in 2014. I was 100 pounds overweight. And so I lost the weight still eating, fish, meat, chicken, steak, pasta, rice, cookies, cakes, all that. And we've helped thousands of people lose weight with this book. We actually hit #1 in multiple categories on Amazon. We're approaching 100,000 copies sold if we haven't already passed it. All praise is due to the creator of all things. Now, on this Cooking and Thinking Thursdays, what I'm going to do is, let's take a look at the salmon, first of all. I've been having this salmon marinating for some hours. What I'm gonna do with this salmon is I'm gonna take it outside. I got the grill out there. I got it smoking. So I'm gonna smoke this on an offset heat. Kind of slow smoke it, but I'm finna smoke this salmon. And then I'm gonna do this. Why I wanted to do this live, because I wasn't even gonna do this live. These potatoes, I gotta think of a name for them. But we're gonna put this recipe in our new family cookbook. The first family cookbook we dropped was this, Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It, the family cookbook. We all partook in making it as a family. This is my family right here. Shout out my wife and our children. You know what I mean? Everybody helped out making this cookbook. We're actually #1 on Amazon. So now we're actually a family full of best-selling authors credited. You feel me? And so it's just a cookbook full of recipes that fit the principles of my book. Just fantastic recipes. And so we're working on a second cookbook. These potatoes is going to be in that cookbook. It's a simple recipe, but I never had it before. I got the concept of these potatoes from my dad. So it's like onion potatoes. But when I say these things are so easy to make and they taste so good, if you ever cook this for the family, they're going to appreciate it. Trust me when I say that. Let me see who pulling up in here, man. Antoinette, what they do, man? Happy Thursday. Yeah, we Cooking and Thinking. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays every Thursday. Well, I used to do it every Thursday. I ain't do this in a minute, but when I do it on Thursdays, whatever we cooking, we making sure it fit the principles. I'm going to give out some weight loss tips, etc., on this live. In the mean and in between time, I want to work on these potatoes. But before I even do that, what I got to do, because I wanted to stunt real quick. I wanted to show these salmon. I wanted to show the salmon before I put it on the grill. Now, I wish that I could take everybody with me on this live, but I'm live on 5 different phones, on 5 different pages on social media, and I can't do that. So I'm going to real quick, I'm going to take this salmon, I'm going to drop it on the grill. But I'm going to give you a little tip before I do that, what I got to do on the grill. And I'm going to answer some questions in a second. I'm really just vibing. Whoever stick around, stick around. I want to give out some game. And I'm going to give you a tip off the rip when it comes to this grill. Because I love grilling and I love grilled salmon. I'm looking for the little spreader thing. Oh, here it goes. Now, when you cooking salmon, what I hate, What I hate when I'm cooking salmon is when the salmon skin stick to the grill. You ever had that happen? You ever grill anything? You ever have like grill something like a fish and then the skin stick to the grill? Drop a 4 in the chat if you ever had that happen to you. Let me see who locked up, man. ALV, what they doing, man? I see you, man. Drop a 4 if you ever had the skin stick to the grill and then it peel off the skin. It happened with chicken. It can happen with fish. And that know what I'm talking about. Not everybody grills, but I just love your guy, and I appreciate that. I actually did a few videos back there. We getting things going. These cucumbers is coming up fast, and you know what I mean. And we got some. The first time I ever grew, what's it called, babe? What we growing back there? Okra. My first time ever growing okra. Oh man, I'm seeing the forest. So check it. To stop that from happening when it comes to the grill, right? You take a little bit of grapeseed oil, right? You don't need a lot. Take a little bit of grapeseed oil out there to the grill, and you get you one of these brushes, and you just dab it in here, and you just coat the grill with this grapeseed oil before you drop the fish or the chicken with the skin on there. You drop it on there, it's not gonna stick. So that's what I'm about to do real quick. I'm about to drop this, and then I'm gonna drop this salmon on there, and then I'm gonna show you how to make these potatoes that'll change your life. If you never had these potatoes, when you taste these potatoes, it'll change your life forever. You know what I'm talking about, babe? It'll change your life forever. I'll tell you, you taste these potatoes, and right then when you taste the potatoes, you're not the same as before when you had these potatoes. You'll be like, damn, it's easy to make these potatoes. This is a potato dish you could use for any function. Bring it to the function, and they eat these potatoes. If they like potatoes, they're gonna love these. One more look at this salmon because I got to get this cooking. So what I'm doing, let me paint a picture. I got the grill. I got a regular barbecue grill, like a Weber grill. And with the salmon, I marinated it in what you call that? Soy sauce, cracked pepper, fresh cracked black pepper, some red pepper flakes, and a nice amount of brown sugar. Trust me. Simple recipe. If you never smoked salmon like this, you want to. Soy sauce, cracked black pepper, fresh, red pepper flakes, not a lot, and probably a handful like this, a nice amount of brown sugar, and you mix it all together, it'll melt down like this, and then I let this soak. You can let it soak overnight, that's even better. It's been soaking for a few hours. Now, with the grill, I got it's offset heat. So on half the grill, I got the, man, I'm sitting here dripping this all over the ground. God dang it. I thought it was closed. On the grill though, I done dripped soy sauce all on the ground. On the grill, I got it offset, right? So half the grill is charcoal, right? And the other half the grill, it ain't no charcoal on it. So half the grill is piping hot charcoal, and then I got wood chunks along the edge of that charcoal for them wood chunks will smoke. And I'm gonna put this salmon on the side of the grill where it ain't no fire underneath it. And then I close it down, I let it smoke. You don't gotta touch it, you don't gotta mess with it. Probably gonna cook for about an hour. So I'm about to drop this on the grill real quick. Once it's about ready, I'll probably bring the phones over there, a couple of phones at a time, and show you what it's looking like on the grill so you can get an idea if you ever want to do this and you never barbecued salmon like this. Once you do this, salmon like this, again, with the salmon, it's like the potatoes, it'll change your life forever when you eat the salmon. It'll change your life forever. Now, hold on, watch this. I'm coming right back. Give me a second because I got to hurry up and do this. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting the salmon down on the grill, skin side down. It's very important. Skin side down on the grill. Offset from the heat. I'm not putting it over the top of them hot coals. I got the hot coals on the other side of the grill. And I'm just one at a time. I'm layering this salmon across the grill on the other side. So that's what I'm doing right now. And it's already looking good. This wood is smoking already. I can smell the smoke. And this is what I want. So I'm just doing this real quick. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Trust me, because I'm about to show you how to make these potatoes. And when you taste these potatoes, change your life forever. Watch what I'm telling you. I'm not playing. I'm having fun, but I ain't playing. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm on the last piece. I just gotta make room. Because the salmon, once you set it, you can almost forget it. Because it's gonna slow smoke because it's not right on top of the heat. It's offset. So I'm making sure that it's set up right, that's all. And I'm making sure that there's a little bit of air flowing in between each piece. Because if not, it ain't gonna cook right. There it is, it's ready. So I'm coming back right now, hold on. Hold on, because remember when I cook these potatoes, it's gonna change. When you look, not when I cook the potatoes, when you cook these potatoes, if you decide to cook these potatoes, it's gonna change your life forever. Let's see who in the building, man. Why is someone named? It's always people in the comments, Clyde. I'm here for the potatoes too. Michelle, listen, if you love potatoes, you're gonna love this. Simple recipe. And it's so good and so simple. Now watch this. So what we got here is the gold potatoes. You wanna use these. These potatoes is the best texture. You can use like regular, what they call them, the Idaho potatoes, or called the regular potatoes. You could use those, but the gold potatoes, they cook more soft, and it's just a better consistency that I like. So now the marinade that the salmon was sitting in right here, you don't want to waste this. All right, because what's in this is soy sauce, brown sugar, cracked black pepper, and red pepper flakes. I'm gonna use this in a little bit, but you notice I got it right here. So I put it right here to the side. In probably about 30 minutes, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at that salmon. I'm gonna take this same baster and I'm gonna baste that salmon down a couple of times with this sauce as it's slow smoking on the grill. That's mandatory. So just, if you wanna take a note of that, just take a mental note of that in case you're in and out this live. I'm gonna be on this live for a minute because I'm just vibing. I was cooking anyway, so I was like, let me go live and do this. So now, the potatoes, all right? So, oh, they hit me with a restriction for what? I'm always getting hit with these restrictions on TikTok, man. They're saying your live contains things that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. All right, well, let me submit feedback. My live does not contain the content mentioned in this notice. Submit. You gotta submit it because if not, it chalk you up as guilty. So let's see what happens, whatever. So let's just keep it going. So, okay, so now we got the potatoes cut up. You want them cut up about this skinniness. You know? Some of them I do a little bit thicker, but, you know, about that size, you just cut the potatoes up like that, all right? This is a bag of potatoes cut up. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side. Now, I'm going to work on these onions. There's only a few ingredients on these potatoes, and you'll be surprised how much flavor and how good it tastes. So you need 2 whole sweet onions. Don't use white onions. Don't use purple onions. Only use sweet onions for this recipe. It's very important. So you're going to use 2 whole. You're going to use a bag of the yellow, like the gold potatoes. And you're going to use 2 whole onions. Sweet onions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do me a favor, man. Drop your city in the comments. Drop your state, where you from. Let me see who in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let me see who locked in. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. We cooking and we thinking. In a little bit, I'm going to explain. I'm going to give out game as far as if you're trying to lose weight. You know, I got to go to help over 1 million people get down to the natural body size and stay there for life because I lost 100 pounds. This was me in 2014. I see Pensacola in the building. Shout out Pensacola. Tennessee in the building. Mississippi. New York, Georgia, California. Oh, man, who that was? Daughter Eden out of North Carolina. What they do? ATL. Patrice, what's up, Patrice? You inspired me. I was 235 a month and a half ago. Now I'm 210. Yourself on the back, man. Just whatever you're doing, keep doing that. You feel me? And just keep measuring the results, staying consistent. We're going to get into some tips in a little bit. I'm telling you. We got weight loss community. With anybody that work with us, we guarantee weight loss. We have over a 90% success rate. The information that I'm about to drop actually really works, and you'll still be eating the food you love. Shout out to everybody on the live, man. It's all love. Jersey in the building, Louisville. Shout out to Noya. Shout out Louisiana, New Orleans in the building. So now I meant to explain this part. So when the onion is like this, right? You want to cut the onion this way. You cut the top and the bottom off, turn it this way, and cut it this way where the grain of the onion look like this. All right? It's very important. I don't know why, but it is. The way that the onions taste when you bake it all together, you need the onion cut to look like a bunch of these little cuts like this. All right? So that's what we're doing. We cutting all of this onion down just like this. Just kind of slivering them off. Not too skinny, but not too thick either. And then we're gonna put this with the potatoes. This knife is sharp. I think I just cut myself. We're gonna put this with the potatoes. All right, just like this. We got a couple of knives from my niece. Shout out my niece Rihanna. She's working with this company Cutco, and we got the knives. She's working on commission or whatever. We got some knives. These things are sharp. You got to be careful with these things. What I don't like about these knives though is weird when you put them in the dish, like in the sink. It's like they always end up turned up like this with the sharp side up. I don't like this because these things dangerous and they sitting in the sink. So if you just reach down there, if it's up underneath other dishes, you'll slice your whole finger. I don't know why they designed they where they sit up so like it seems like they automatically go up in the sink because it's like a little curve. So it's like it pushes the knives like this. I'm like, man, they need to think about what they doing with that. I know people done got cut with these knives in the sink. But anyways, they sharp though. They good knives. All right, so we cut these things up like this. Notice. It's all good. We got 2 onions and a bag of gold potatoes. All right, bam. Now, I'm about to show y'all something that I learned from my grandma. God bless her dad. She taught me this method. It's cooking with the bag method. This is an old school method. All right, so some people are gonna be like, oh, that's unsanitary, whatever. My grandma was doing it for decades. We in our family, we've been doing this for decades. So if you, however you feel, I really, I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I don't. But check this, right? Check this. You take one of these bags, make sure it's clean enough that you get from the grocery store, right? You get 2 of them. You wanna get 2 of them without holes in the bottom. And you layer it up like this. You get 2 bags, like you double bagging it. Now, because I could season these up in this bowl, but I'll be mixing it up and all of that, and that's cool. It'll work, but this is way easier. I marinate when we cooking steak on the grill, whatever, chicken on the grill. When I used to cook ribs, I do it like this. Potatoes, vegetables, when I want to mix that flavor in with whatever I'm cooking, and then I want to let it marinate. Or if I'm just ready to just cook it real quick, I use this cooking in the bag, seasoning in the bag method. We actually talk about this in our first family cookbook. You got the potatoes, you got the onions. Now watch this. You're gonna drop these right inside this bag. I would have just put them straight bag, but I'm on the live and I thought it'll look better with the glass bowl. You know what I'm saying? I thought it'll look better with the glass bowl, so I put it in the glass. But I like to do this method too because it cuts down on dishes that you gotta wash. So watch this. I poured it over the top of that first bag in there. I got to get it in the middle. All right. So now, I think that's all of it. All right. So you got everything in the bag like this, right? Bam. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use some extra virgin olive oil. Drizzle these things down with extra virgin olive oil. Probably about that much. All right. Now, next thing we're gonna do And this is optional, but highly recommended. This is optional, but highly recommended. We're gonna use truffle sea salt. Truffle sea salt, so good. You can use regular sea salt for this, no problem. Regular sea salt with this recipe is fantastic. But if you use the truffle sea salt though, it's even better. So you take the truffle sea salt. You see there's not a lot left in this container. I'm gonna use all this truffle sea salt. And then I'm gonna use a little bit more than that because I know that ain't enough for all these potatoes. All right, bomb. That's the sea salt, and salt it to your liking. You know, some people don't like salt. Don't put a lot on there though. You know what I mean? Some people like it. You can put some more on there, however you want it. So salt it to your taste. We dropped the truffle sea salt. Now the next thing we're gonna do is watch this. Cracked black pepper. Cracked black pepper. This is the onion potato recipe. I got to think of a better name for this before we drop it in the cookbook. But you've seen it right here on Cooking and Thinking Thursdays first. This is a simple recipe. I'm cutting the oven on 440 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm cutting it on right now on 440. Now I'm cranking it. I like food. You know, I like food like a little bit spicy. So I use a nice amount of cracked black pepper. Everybody in our family likes spice on their food. So some people don't like cracked black pepper like that. If that's how it is for you, don't put none. Use the truffle, sea salt, and onions, and trust me, it's enough. It's enough. Now, there's one other piece of this puzzle, but when it's ready, you're gonna take a lime and you're gonna drizzle a fresh squeezed lime over the top. That's the finishing touch. You're gonna taste one. If it need a little more salt, add a little more salt, a little more pepper, drizzle the lime, and you serving this thing. So now you've seen what just happened. We did that. Cracked black pepper, truffle, sea salt, red pepper flakes. Not a lot. That's it. That's it. That's it. Don't do nothing else. Trust me. Now, you could do, like, you know what I'm saying? You could put, like, Italian herbs on this. You could put the basil on this. You could put the, you know, you could put paprika in here. You could put you could go nuts. You could put chipotle powder. You could put cayenne pepper. You could put turmeric. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could really go nuts with this. And I have. But the best combination, in my opinion, is the simplest. It's the salt, the natural sea salt, or the truffle sea salt, even better. Cracked black pepper, red pepper flakes, onions, olive oil. That's it. And a little bit of lemon to garnish it at the end. That's it. Sometimes the simplest, like, sometimes doing less is more. You get what I'm saying? Now, this is the season in the bag method. This is what makes it so nice. This how you mix it up. And this gonna get everything mixed up real nice. You get what I'm saying? Everything right now getting mixed up real nice. Everything getting tossed up real nice. It's my grandma. I got this from my grandma, Dolores. God bless the dad, man. She's one of the best cooks ever. Her and my dad really taught me the most of my base foundation knowledge of cooking. And I give them credit in the cookbook, our first cookbook. Never thought a Mission grocery store bags this generous pair of that's generous. Now listen, trust me, chicken. Now look, let's say, and I don't eat chicken, but our family still does, and so I'll whip up chicken, or fish, or it could be steak, whatever. Let's say I'm gonna marinate it. Like I might be doing like carne asada style steak, and I season that thing down. I marinate it, right? Here's what I do: I marinate it the same way with the marinade. I twist it up like this, right? And I put it in the fridge overnight. Simple. No mess, nothing. That's what I'm saying. This is a multi-versatile method. This is the season in the bag method. Straight out of Miami, my grandma Dolores, she would season everything like this, man. Everything. That's why the main reasons these bags, we kept them is for that. All right, so. Now look. Look how that look. The potatoes. If you could smell it, you will already know this is gonna be good. just from just smelling it right there like that.
Okay.
What's up? I put it in there. I had a couple of them last night. They got smashed. That's why you gotta say. That's crazy. Our kids, we must. Ronald Russell, I just seen the order come through. Ronald is love. My wife had got some these little candy bars called Unreal. Candy bars are like little Snickers. You get them at Publix, and she had got some like yesterday. Put them in the pantry. I had one of them last night. They're gone. She went to go get one. She like, damn, that's crazy. We got 5 kids, man, and you got to be quick to get things nowadays. They all grown. It's a trip. Where can I find that sea salt? I got this at Publix, Truff. Now they said you could get it on Amazon too, sent to the house. It's a little costly for this. Is like $10, but since we tried it the first time, we ain't gone back since. You know what I mean? When you look at it in the ingredients, you got sea salt, black truffle concentrate, and black pepper. That's what's in this. And I don't know how to explain it. It's just a great flavor. All right, Makai, have fun, man. All right, so now, here's what we do, right? Here's what we do with this recipe. All right? You take the extra virgin olive oil and you just put a little bit on the bottom of the glass baking pan, preferably glass. Now, if you got metal, you could put it right on there, but I prefer glass. And you could also use a like parchment paper for less mess, So now you drop the potatoes and onions just like this. When you do this, right, don't put too much in one pan. You don't want a thick layer, you want it thin. You want it a thin layer going across the bottom like this. All right, maybe stack two levels high and no more than that, because what's going to happen is that bottom layer is going to cook and kind of brown from the heat coming from the bottom of the oven. And then at the end, we're going to broil this for we brown the top. So the bottom going to be brown and have a little charred, a nice little crisp to it, and the top. So that's important. You don't want, you see how thin that is across the bottom? You don't want it to be like a thick layer of potatoes going all the way up to the top. All right, so I'm doing two pans worth because I'm cooking for the family. A little bit of oil on the bottom. It's already oil on the potatoes. So my dad, he used to cook these potatoes, right? He still do. But he do them on top of the stove. I flipped it, I put them in the oven like this. So now, there go the rest of the potatoes and onions. Remember, we got salmon on the grill smoking right now. Let me check on it real quick. It's looking good. It's looking good. That smoke out there smoking. I'm going to show you in a little bit. Shout out to everybody on the live. You feel me? This is Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. Because the thing about it, for me, now here's another thing when you're doing these potatoes. You want to spread these onions like around so it's even. I forgot to say that. So I'm kind of like spreading the amount of onions, because there was more onions on this part of the bag. So I'm taking some of these out and I'm putting them in the other one. Because you want an even amount of onions all through the dish. Because these onions, as it's cooking down, they're gonna start caramelizing, and it's like a sweet, nice, salty, sweet. Oh man, see how that's looking? So there we are. These. Now we got 2 pans of the potatoes ready. We got the salmon on the grill smoking right now in real time. I'm gonna look when I'm done. When everything is done, I'm gonna plate my plate, and I'm finna eat my plate on this live, and we'll get into a Q&A, you know what I mean? And that's how this live is gonna go, just so you know, moving forward. So, YouTube, I see we got 240 people on the live. I see we got 84 likes. If you could smash the like button, if you could tap the screen, I'd appreciate it. If you could tap the screen, I'd appreciate it. That'll be love. You want this? There you go, man. You're welcome. First live I'm catching. Hey, man, welcome. This is Cooking and Thinking Thursday. You know, I used to do this every Thursday when I was first getting going and we was first starting to catch motion. I do Cooking and Thinking Thursdays every Thursday, and I prepare a meal that fit the principles of my book. Because here's the thing for me, right? And I want to get more into this on this live about weight loss. I used to believe that healthy food, I didn't like the way it tastes, because a lot of times the healthy food that I did taste, I didn't like the way it tastes. So in my mind, I associated healthy food with not having a lot of flavor, and I didn't like the way it tastes. Let me ask you a question. Who on this live? Because I want to help some people lose weight on this live. If you're on this live and you got to go to lose weight, if you would like to lose some pounds, drop a 4 in the chat. Drop a 4 in the chat. I'm about to right now. I don't know how to, I can't, it's hard to see your name, but if someone asked if I could talk more about the book. I'm about to actually get into that right now. Lawyer, what they do, man? Kevin, what's popping? Okay. James, what they do? Good. For everybody that dropped a 4, if you got to go to lose weight, drop a 4 in the chat. JS, what's good? Mitz, I see you. When can I drive down and purchase some plants? I'm actually not selling plants. I'm just trying to help people grow them. You know what I mean? That's where we're at right now in the development. I'm still learning as I grow, low key. I started growing plants, really taking it serious in 2020. I'm really still a rookie in the game. I made my book as a foundation book. The more we grow, the more we'll see everything we need. That I made that as a foundation, because really, once you understand basic principles when it comes to plants, you could grow anything. And then it's just a matter of knowing where to go get the detail. I break it down in the book. I make it simple. You don't need a green thumb to grow food. It's a misconception. So now, for everybody that dropped a 4, though, because I don't want to get off topic, that got to go to lose weight. If you ever felt like you know deep down you got to make some changes. Maybe you feel like you need to stop eating fast food. Maybe you feel like you need to eat fried food. Maybe you feel like you need to stop eating so much bread or pasta or carbs or gluten, whatever it is. Maybe you feel like sweets is your weakness, whatever it is that you think. If you ever felt like eating healthy, you wanted to do it, but at the same time, it's like you're not excited to because the food that you like ain't healthy. If you ever had that thought cross your mind, drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat. Because what I want to do is I want to chapter 3 in my book. Chapter 3 is entitled Mindset. It's the most important chapter. Chapter 3. Mindset. And so this is what we're talking about right now. Drop a yes in the chat if you ever felt like you know you needed to make some changes, but the healthy food, you ain't really want to do it though, because I don't really like the way healthy food tastes. Okay, so Sam know what I'm talking about. Mike know what I'm talking. Okay, what they do. Okay. Hector, what's popping? Okay, hey Zeus, what's good? All right, good. So okay, for everybody that dropped a yes, this is what I realized along the way. Good news. I lost weight, still eating potatoes, still eating bread, still eating rice, still eating cookies, still eating cakes, burgers, French fries, donuts, cookies, cakes. All the food that I eat, I was eating it through my whole weight loss journey. Like I said, this was me in 2014. And this is what my book is all about. And I'm about to give out the game right now. This was me in 2014, right? And so let me start from the beginning, because what I believed, and so this is what I'm saying, the belief that healthy food, I didn't like the way it tastes, was a false belief that got into my mind, and it stopped me from looking for food that would help me lose weight that I liked, because I just felt like I didn't like the way healthy food tastes. And I believed that I liked the way unhealthy food tasted. So that was a belief, that was a dangerous belief in my mind. I don't like the way healthy food tastes. I like the way unhealthy food tastes. So now what I was doing, because our mind is super, super powerful, man. We are electromagnetic beings. Our mind and our heart is electricity and magnetism. We attract the way we thinking. And so if I'm thinking I like the way unhealthy food tastes, but I don't like the way healthy food tastes, I'm attracting all type of unhealthy experiences. And I'm liking it. Good news, healthy food could taste just as good as unhealthy food, if not better. In my opinion, it tastes better. So let me explain how I came across how to do this. So the false belief that was in my mind was I needed to stop eating fast food. Fast food was the whole reason why I was overweight. That got into my mind. I actually talk about this in my book. That got into my mind because of a documentary called Super Size Me that I watched years ago. This is early 2000. There was a documentary called Super Size Me that came out. Where this dude, he went around, and back in the days you could get supersized meals at McDonald's. You would tell them super size me. But in hindsight, when I think back on that, that's crazy. Because I'm telling them to supersize me. Do you remember that? Like, do you remember when you could tell them supersize me in McDonald's and they'll give you like a bucket of French fries like this and a big soda? Drop a yes in the chat if you remember when you could get meals supersized. They made it illegal after this documentary, the supersize situation. We used to supersize the meals back in the days. Remember when they did that? Okay, Sadie, remember. I'm 42, so like if you younger, you probably don't even know about that. Back in the days, yeah, you could tell them supersize me. And it'd be like $1.25 more you pay. Instead of paying $5 or whatever it was, back then it was like probably 3 and some change, you get a whole meal. Now you paying $5, but you get a bucket of French fries like this and a soda about this big. You could 3 people could eat off one supersized meal. So anyways, this guy, he went around, he was eating supersized meals all day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a month. You could watch the documentary. And he gained 20 pounds in 30 days. He put on 20 pounds in 30 days. And I remember when I seen that documentary, first of all, before then, like everybody know fast food is unhealthy now, but in the early 2000s, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, I'm just getting a burger and fries. Like I was young, I wasn't thinking about it. Like I didn't see it as an unhealthy. I seen it as like fast food was convenient and I liked the way it tasted. But then in that documentary, then I was like, dang, because he was breaking down like how they made the buns, how they did the chicken nuggets, and what they did with the meat processing and the soft serve ice cream, all the chemicals in it and all of that, and how it affect our bodies and how it is. The whole purpose of the documentary was saying fast food was the reason why America is obese, right? So I seen the documentary and it got into my mind. That's what it was. I remember I did the math because he had gained like 20 pounds in 30 days. So I did the math. I'm like, hold on. So if in 10 months, he gonna gain 200 pounds. I was like, in 1 year, he'll gain 240 pounds. And I was just flabbergasted. I was like, dang, no wonder. And at this period of my life, I was super active though. I was super active. I was always in sports. I wasn't big. And so I was like, I wonder if I stop exercising, would I start getting big? So the idea got into my mind. Years passed. I stopped being so active. You know, I started having kids. And in my late 20s, I started to gain weight. By the time I was 31 in 2014, this was me. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was 260 pounds. You know what I mean? And I was going up fast. I had gained 50 pounds in like less than a month and a half. I had gained 50 pounds. Like and I never forget the night we was living in the Pine Island projects. This was actually the lowest period of my life mentally. We was living in the Pine Island projects, and I had lost everything. Like it was a trying time, and it was one night my wife poked at my chest. I was sitting on the bed. She poked at my chest and she started laughing, and she was like, "Dang, babe, you getting titties." My wife told me that. She was like, "Dang, babe, you getting tits," and she was laughing. She was laughing at me, man. She said, "Dang, babe, you getting titties," and was laughing. She did. My wife told me that, man. And I got real sensitive. I got real sensitive, right? So what I'm talking about is how I came into the awareness that I could eat what I want and lose weight. It was a roundabout way that I came into this awareness. But it all started this night. That night when she poked at my chest and she was like, "Dang, babe, you getting because that same night what happened was I had a mindset shift. And I had a moment of clarity where I realized that I had been lying to myself. Because what happened was we got into a big argument. And I went into the bathroom. I slammed the door and I looked in the mirror. And when I looked in the mirror at myself, I held I held my stomach in like I made stomach. I was holding my body to where I didn't look as big to myself. So I never forget that moment when I looked in the mirror and I realized what I was doing. Because I could see the thought process that I had was like, damn, I could see if you did this, if you was on the beach, like if you was around people or something, like it's only you in the bathroom. So I was like, dang, bro. I remember I came right in on my face like this in the mirror and I was like, dang, bro, you lying to yourself. I looked right in my eyes and I said that to myself out loud. I was like, dang, bro, you lying to yourself. And then what tripped me out was I lied to myself without even using words. I was holding my body to make my body look smaller to my eyes to make myself feel better about myself, which is, I never looked at it like that. Like I didn't realize that I was lying to myself without speaking. I was using body language to trick my own self. And I remember I relaxed and I looked at myself and I was like, this was me at that period. I looked at myself and I was like, nah, that's it. I'm done eating fast food. I remember I said it out loud. I was like, I'm done. Because the thought that I had in this moment was, if I want a burger, I can make it myself. I don't need to go to Wendy's. I don't need to go to McDonald's or Burger King. I can make my own burger. I could wait till night after I get done eating and make a burger. I can make my own French fries. If I want a taco, I could just make it myself. I don't need to go to Taco Bell. If I want fried chicken, I could fry it myself. I don't need to go to Popeyes. I don't need to go to churches. You know what I'm saying? This how I was thinking. So what happened was, in that moment, I had a mindset shift where I realized that I was lying to myself. And I chose to be honest with myself by looking at myself for how I really looked. So that was the major thing that happened. I chose to be honest with myself and I accepted it. And then I said, okay, I'm going to make a change where I'm going to stop eating fast food, but I'm going to still eat things I like. And so what happened in that moment, it went from me believing that stopping fast food would be a mission and I wouldn't be able to eat what I like. Could you watch that, please? I wouldn't be able to eat what I like. My mindset shifted from that to, I'm still going to eat what I like, just not from fast food restaurants. And so it went from like not really wanting to do it and kind of feeling discouraged about thinking about doing it to being curious. The emotion that happened was, it went from not really wanting to do it emotionally to being curious. Think about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about mindset. This is why everything changed for me. I had a mindset. Hindsight, when I look back on it, I realized why it worked for me. My mindset shifted to curiosity. So now I was like, okay, I'm going to start weighing myself every day. And if my weight go down, then I know it was the fast food. I was like, I wonder if I'm really, because I was 260. I wanted to get down to 190. Eventually, I ended up, at one point, I was down to 160. But I wanted to get down to 190, and I was like, dang, I wonder if I'm really going to lose the whole 70 pounds from the fast food. I got curious. And so I wanted to stop eating it. My wife and kids, they were still going to Wendy's and all that. My family, my friends, everybody was still eating fast food around me. They'd ask me if I wanted some. I'm like, nah, I'm straight. I'll make my own meal, you know what I mean? And so I started doing that. If I wanted, I'll bake some chicken with some rice or whatever. I make my own, I might make some pasta, or I would make my own burger or whatever, And I just didn't eat nothing from fast food restaurant. And I was weighing myself every morning and every night. So also I decided to look at the truth. So right now, if you got to go to lose weight, I'm praying that this helped. I decided to look at the truth. The only way to know the truth of my actions from this point moving forward, if I stopped eating fast food, but I still ate burgers and everything that I like to eat, but I just didn't eat nothing from fast food restaurants. Because at this time, too, and I talk about this in my book, I was eating fast food 5 to 7 days a week. I was eating a lot of fast food. And so I was like, if I stop eating the fast food and I'm weighing myself in every night, if my weight don't start going down, I know it wasn't the fast food. If it start going down, I know it was the fast food. So I decided to look at the truth every day. I was looking at my weight every day and I was thinking about what I was eating. And my weight started going down. it started going down. It was going up and down like this every day. When I weigh myself in the morning, for example, like in the morning, the first day I was 260. That same night I probably was 262. The next morning I was 260. The next night I was 261.8. The next night I was 250.2. So it's going up and down, but it's starting to trend down. For about 3 to 4 months, my weight was going down. I lost probably about 15 pounds in 3 months. If it makes sense what I just said about the mindset part of it, looking at the truth, weighing myself every day, engaging the results. If it makes sense, drop a yes in the chat, what I just said. Yeah, that's a fact. Rasheen Green, that's a great point. If you really want fast food, anything, it's on YouTube. Cook it and follow Jabez's principles. We do that all the time. There's a billion recipes on YouTube. That's the most lit thing. You could do copycat recipes all day, but just make sure to use the right ingredients. And we're gonna get more into it so it can make sense. JS, what they doing, man? I see you. A killer lipstick. What's good, Queen? Tisha, what's up? Oh man, what's good? Okay, good. So it's making sense to some people. That's great. Okay, so now I lost about 15 pounds, right? Let me check on the salmon. Hold on. Because I lost about 15 pounds. Salmon looking good. Salmon looking real good. I'm going to have to put this glaze on it in a second. I lost about 15 pounds, right? And then losing weight. So I went from 260 to about 245. And then I just kind of was going down like this. It wasn't trending down. It wasn't trending up. I was stuck right there. I wasn't eating no fast food, though. I stopped with the fast food because now I'm looking at it like this. I say, fast food. So it got to the point where probably after a month of staying consistent, after I lost 15 pounds, and then I stayed at 245, a month time passed, and I was like, okay, fast food had like 15 pounds on me. So I was like, dang, so it wasn't just the fast food. I was like, dang, it wasn't just the fast food. So I was like, dang, I was kind of discouraged, but at the same time, I know I'm not finna go back to eating fast food. So I made a good decision. I'm like, okay, I'm done with fast food. I know if I go back to it, I'm going to gain them 15 pounds back plus some. Because my weight was going up. If I wouldn't have stopped, I would have kept gaining weight. And so I was like, okay. Time passed, and probably about 6 months passed, I ain't lose another pound. And then I learned about the enrichment process. This is when my whole life changed because I came into this awareness. Everything, all the dominoes got pushed over after this domino. This was the domino that pushed all the other dominoes over while I was able to write my book and while we've been able to help thousands of people lose weight. It was this piece of information right here started everything. It was like a light bulb. I learned about the enrichment process and how it relates to weight gain. I talk about it all the time, and I'm going to keep on talking about it until everybody like, bro, we know. So if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar with the enrichment process and its relationship to weight gain, drop a 4 in the chat. If you're unfamiliar, what type of soy sauce did you use? Tamarind, my wife got this. It was this kind, but it was the one I used. It was like low sodium. It was this kind. But the soy sauce wasn't a big factor in the weight loss. That I'll get more into that in a later. But I wanna explain the enrichment process because I want to help people with a major. I want to talk about the major things that you could do right now to start losing weight. All right, Herbal, what they do, Pablo. Okay, if you're unfamiliar with the relationship between weight gain and the enrichment process, drop it in the chat. Norval Harris, man, I need your book. It's all love. If you want to grab them, feel free. I got the website link underneath my profile picture. So now check it out, though. Tina, what they do. Okay, so now, the enrichment process is an ultra chemical process. So you can bring rice through the enrichment process, wheat through the enrichment process, and corn. So you can enrich those 3 grains. And so it's a chemical process where the life germ of the grain is removed. They created it in the 1940s because the life germ of the grain, that's the part that'll spoil and go bad. So they created the enrichment process to where grains could sit on the shelf forever and not go bad. So the life germ is the soft part of the grain. So for example, let's talk about wheat. So wheat, the life germ. The process, how it works is they use chemicals to loosen and remove the life germ from that wheat grain. So that what's left is just a piece of wheat grain with no life energy left in it. It's an empty calorie. So what they do, they add synthetic nutrients, because that life germ has natural nutrients, B vitamins and things like this that are natural. They're in the life germ. They remove that. So they add synthetic nutrients to replace the natural nutrients. Problem is our bodies don't break these synthetic nutrients down, and there's no life energy in it for our body to use. So one of the things our body does is it turns it to fat. So it leads to weight gain, right? And how you know if something is enriched is like this. For example, we're talking about wheat, right? Watch this. We're talking about wheat. This is the type of wheat that I grew up on, right? I don't want to get too close because I know they'll flag me on TikTok. But you see right here, it say all-purpose flour, then it say bleached, and then it say enriched. It is flour a lot of times, it'll say it's enriched on the front of the pack. But how you know if something used enriched grains in it is by reading the ingredients. This is when I learned this, it changed my life. In the ingredients, you'll see bleached wheat flour. Then you see the synthetic niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, enzyme. Those are all the synthetic ingredients added to this flour, right? So this is enriched grain. It leads the weight gain. That's the bad news. Good news, just like they sell this in the store, they also sell flour that wasn't put through that enrichment, that chemical enrichment process. So I'll show you an example. Here go an example right here. In the same store. Here go a flour. When you read the ingredients, all that's in the ingredients is hard red wheat flour, soft wheat flour, compared to bleached wheat flour, and then the synthetic niacin, iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, enzymes. Hard red wheat flour, soft wheat flour. Bleached wheat flour, niacin, iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, enzymes. So what happened was, I realized how much flour makes. Flour is used to make bread, donuts, cookies, pizza, Pop-Tarts, toaster strudels, Little Debbie snacks, all type of different cakes, pasta. I could go on and on. Flour make a lot of different things. So a lot of times when we get these things pre-made, is made with enriched flour. So what I did was I switched from the enriched flour and I went to the natural flour, and I started reading the ingredients of the bread I was buying, the pasta I was buying, the pizza that I was eating, the hamburger buns I was buying, the tortilla shells I was eating, the pastries and the sweets and the snacks and the cakes and the cookies. I started eating them made with the natural flour, and my weight started coming right back down. Still eating all the things I love. Still all the things I love. I didn't stop eating pasta. I didn't stop eating bread. I didn't stop eating that. Because what happened when I found out about the enrichment process, I went and I looked in my pantry to see what I was eating that was enriched. The bread that we had, Nature's Own honey wheat bread, used enriched flour. The pasta that we had, the Mueller's macaroni noodles and the Mueller's spaghetti noodles and lasagna and linguine and all that, made with enriched flour. The grits that we ate was made with enriched corn. The rice, we was eating enriched white rice, parboiled enriched rice. I switched that out for the natural jasmine rice, right? Or the natural basmati rice or the wild rice, right? So I made the switch. The pancake batter that we was using was made with the enriched flour. The toaster strudels that we had in the freezer, the pizza that we had in the freezer, the crust was made with the enriched flour. Pop-Tarts was made with enriched flour. The cookies, I was eating Oreo cookies and all of that, and like Chips Ahoy cookies, enriched flour. When I was done taking everything out the pantry and putting it on the counter, and I looked what all that I was eating that used enriched grains, I realized I had been eating enriched grains every day my whole life. It probably wasn't more than 10 days went by. It's just like on a day where I just didn't eat, probably because who knows, the different circumstances. I was eating enriched grains every day. So I was like, dang, no wonder I ain't losing more weight. Because remember, I lost 15 pounds when I stopped eating fast food. Then I stopped losing weight. So then I stopped eating the enriched grains and I switched them out for the natural grains. And my weight started trending right back down. I lost another 15, 20 pounds just with that. Lost 60 8 months following your book. Chris, I appreciate you saying that, man. I appreciate all the testimonies, the emails before and after pictures and all that we've been getting. It's all love, man. Congratulations, man. For me, the longer I stay consistent eating natural foods, the better it keeps getting. Let me ask you a question, though. If that made sense about the enriched grains, what I just said made sense, drop a 4 in the chat. If it made sense what I just said about the enriched grains, drop a 4 in the chat. Let me see who locked in. I can smell it in here. The potatoes smelling real good. I got salmon on the grill outside, slow smoking. I got to get this glaze on this salmon right now. Latoya, what they do? Cam, this is Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. We cooking and we thinking. We don't have to sacrifice great food to lose weight. I'm telling you. But we do need to be aware of the ingredients used in the food and the processes that the ingredients went through. I used to think when I was eating pasta, like I need spaghetti noodles. Like that was the ingredient. Pasta. I wasn't thinking that it was at one point in time, it was a wheat plant. And then they had to get the grain from the wheat plant and then they had to process that. And then there was a process called the ultra-chemical enrichment process where they use chemicals to remove the germ and then they add synthetic nutrients to replace the natural nutrients. I wasn't thinking about none of that. I just went pasta. But I could get pasta made with natural wheat flour. So I became aware and I started eating natural ingredients. And that, if you had to sum it all up, you could sum it up in 2 words, eat natural. It just comes down to knowing the little tricks that's in the ingredients because they slick. It's like the word enriched, for example. To me, that's slick. Why? Because I was seeing enriched on rice and pasta and all that, and I was seeing enriched on flour, and I just thought that it was better because of the word enriched. If you come into my life and enrich my life, that's a good thing, right? Am I tripping? If enriched sound good, drop a 4 in the chat. If the I want to see who can agree with me on this one. If you see the word enriched, if that sound like a good thing to you, drop a 4 in the chat. If it don't, put no. If it does, drop a 4, man. Tina, you see what I'm saying? What's up, Tina? Loyal, what they do? Cam was popping. I went through the pantry. That's lie. Sharon, that's love. Okay, Pert know what I'm talking about. Brian, what's popping? Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. The enrichment process, I realized later when I really reflected on it, I'm like, why they chose that word enriched? I believe they chose it because it enriches the people that use it. If you are a wheat farmer and you have a processing plant and you have a source to wheat and then you bring the wheat through a process and you bag it up and you sell it. If you use that chemical enrichment process, it's going to enrich your pockets because now the wheat don't never spoil. So you don't got to take them losses. You feel me? That's where I think that word came from. It wasn't for the consumer, it was for the seller. That's what I think. That's just a theory. That's just a theory I got. But now look, I got to do this real quick. I got a fact. Can I? No, I can't because I'm using both my hands. I was going to bring one of the phones so you can see what's going on the grill. I got the salmon out there slow smoking on the grill right now. And then I got this marinade here that I'm going to drop on the salmon real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. Because trust me, I got these potatoes in the oven. We're about to plate this meal in probably 15 minutes. I'm coming right back. The salmon, now I wish you could see it. The salmon looking real good right now on this grill. But let me just go ahead and put this extra flavor on here. I'll be right back in a second. It's like an intermission. It's like a commercial break. I'm coming right back. You're going to like the way the salmon look. Watch. You feel me? You're going to like the way the salmon look. And trust me, I showed how to do these potatoes. And this live, I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and look, you can see step by step how to cook this dinner. You could do it, you know what I mean? This is a dinner, when you cook this dinner for your family, they're going to appreciate it, trust me. Now, the thing about this meal, right? Hold on, let me see if I missed anything. How did you learn about enriched? I actually seen it on a documentary, and I don't know the name of this documentary. I didn't even watch the whole thing. When I found out about the enrichment process, I went to the pantry. And not too long after that, I was going to the grocery store looking for switches I could make. And I ain't never doubled back to it. You know what I mean? So I don't even know. And all type of people send us email, because I actually say that in the book. Like, I looked because I wanted to reference the documentary in my book, but I don't know what happened. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I learned. It was in the documentary, and they broke down the process of it, and they said that it lead to weight gain. And I was trying to figure out why I wasn't losing no more weight. But that's what the enrichment process is, what made me start looking at the ingredients. As I started to pay attention to the ingredients, I started to notice other things. And then during that period of my life, what happened, it was a key thing that happened mentally. That was, I realized I was doing a science experiment on my body. My mind took me to high school. I had a science teacher that I actually liked, and I only liked a couple of my teachers my whole career. I literally like hated school, but it was a couple of teachers that I actually did like. The science teacher was one of them, and he was cool because we did a lot of experiments. Like, it was a lot of hands-on science experiments, and he made it fun, and he wasn't real strict with the grades, and it was just, he was easygoing. It was a vibe, and so he broke down about a science experiment. You're gonna have constant variables, and then if you want to see like how to change something, like, you'll have constant variables, and then you'll add one element of change measured to the constant variables, and then you'll have a result from making that one element of change. You have a result from that, and then you do that a few times. Shayna Usty, I just seen the order come through. Shayna is love. You'll do that a few times, right? And if you get the same result, you know it's because that one element of change that you added to the constant variables that gave you this new result. And he made it real clear, like, if you do two elements of change or three, you don't really know what led to the element, what led to the different result. So you want to only change one thing at a time and measure it. So he made that make sense to me. And so what happened was, I realized that's what I was doing with my body. My mind took me back to that for some reason one day, because the first change that I made was I stopped eating fast food, but I didn't change nothing else about the way I was eating. I wasn't counting calories. I wasn't eating less. I wasn't doing nothing different. I just didn't eat fast food. I was still eating burgers, French fries, just not from fast food restaurants. I was still eating tacos, just not from Taco Bell. I was still eating fried chicken, just not from churches. And you know what I mean? Like, I ate everything that I wanted to eat, just not from fast food restaurants. So that was the only element of change that I made. And I measured the result, because I started getting on the scale every morning and every night. And I was thinking about what I ate. And I was making sure not to eat food. My weight started going down. So now I know the different result, my weight going down. I lost 15 pounds thereabout. And so now I know it was because of the fast food element. And then I learned about enriched grains. I stopped eating enriched grains. I was still eating pasta. I just wasn't eating pasta made with enriched flour. I was still eating bread. Just wasn't eating bread made with enriched flour. I was still eating rice, and I ate a lot of rice. Just wasn't eating enriched rice. I started eating natural jasmine rice and basmati rice and wild rice and brown rice. So I was still eating all the foods that I like. I just wasn't eating no enriched grains. I was still eating grains though. So that was the only element of change that I made. And I was measuring the results. My weight started coming back down. So now I'm like, okay, the enriched grains had weight on me. Probably 15, 20 pounds when it was all said and done. So at that period of my life, I said, I'm going to start, I'm going to see if I lose all the weight that was on me, if it was all the enriched grains' fault. But if I stop losing weight before I get to 190, I'm going to make one change at a time. And I'm going to measure the result, and I'm going to see how much weight it had on me. And that's what I started doing. If that makes sense, what I just said about measuring the results and making one change at a time, drop a yes in the chat. If it makes sense what I just said about measuring the results and making one change at a time, drop a yes in the chat. No, he was a good teacher. And what's crazy, I don't remember his name. I can see his face. But I thought his class was cool, man. I got like a B or a C plus or something. Like, he passed me, and I would, like, I feel like it was certain tests that I took where I did bad, but he just like gave me a B, or, just like slid it through. I thought it was cool. But he made me, that stuck in my brain though. I see, okay, 5J, what they do, man? Tisha, what's up? Patricia, what's up, Patricia? I see you. LaQuisha, what's good? All right, nice. Jill, good. Dexter, what they do? Mumble, what's good? So, TikTok, I'm finna come right back. Coming right back. So yeah, so that's how that went. So now what I want to do, right? On this live, I'm just turning this live back on. I'm gonna do the same thing. TikTok, I'm gonna come right back. My battery about to die on this phone. If anybody got any questions, like on this live, what I want to do, if you got like food that you like, drop it in the chat. If it's a food that you feel like is making it hard for you to lose weight, drop it in the chat so I could give you a substitute where you'll still be eating that food, but you'll start losing weight. Drop it in the chat, man. Let me know if it's whatever it is. If you think it's, pizza or chicken or whatever, you know what I mean? If you think it's fried foods or bread or whatever you think, if it's sweets, drop it in the chat. And let me see how I can help Coca-Cola, pizza, cake, pasta, chips. All right, so the Coca-Cola, do you count calories? I did at one point, and I didn't. Counting calories, I did for a while, and I was basically I was portion controlling, and I did lose some weight, but it was hard for me to stay consistent with that because it was kind of like brain work that I had to do all the time, like every day, and I was already busy, and so it was like, whatever, I didn't stay consistent with it, so I lose weight and gain it back. But along the way, what I realized about the calories, and this is a real good point, and next I'm going to talk about I seen pasta, pizza, and I'm going to talk about the soda, but the calories. This blew my mind when I realized it. And shout out Elatone Melamine. He the one that put me up on game about this. I was counting calories, right? But I was counting something that I have no idea what it even looked like. You get what I'm saying? So like, for example, if somebody were to give me a piece of chips and I looked under a microscope and they gave me a pointer pen and they say count the calorie molecule, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would know where to begin to look for a calorie molecule. If you wouldn't be able to point out a calorie molecule under a microscope, drop a 4 in the chat. If you wouldn't be able to point it out, drop a 4 in the chat. Let me see who locked in. If you wouldn't be able to look under a microscope and say, oh, there go the 1 calorie, there go 2 calories, drop a 4 in the chat. Let me see who locked in. I know I wouldn't, man. Dang, we ain't got no water. All right, we got some people in here keeping it real. Tammy, what they do. So this is what I'm saying. So if I don't know what a calorie looked like, how was I counting calories? I wasn't counting calories. I was counting numbers on the package. And then so what happened was, as I started to learn how to choose natural options of the food that I like, or more natural options, at least better options than what I was eating before, I started to see this common theme where it'll be, for example, like it'll be Doritos Doritos chips, right? And it'll say one serving got whatever 160 calories, and then you look at the ingredients of the Doritos, right? And then it was another chips that was cooked in avocado oil, potato chips, and sea salt. That's it, just potatoes, avocado oil, and sea salt, and they got 180 calories. So if I'm counting calories and I'm looking at, and that's what I'm doing to lose weight, I'm looking at the Doritos like it's a better option. But the Doritos was one of the things that was putting the weight on me because of the natural flavors, all the chemicals and preservatives in there, all the artificial flavors and flavor enhancers that make you want to keep on eating. The corn was put through that enrichment process. It's a super ultra processed chemical food, but they got 160 calories. So I'm looking at that like it's a better choice. So that's what the calorie game, I think, is a distractionary game to make weight loss more complicated than it need to be. That's my personal opinion. All right. So now, what I think, right? Because what I want to do now is, and this meal about to be ready. Someone had put bread, pasta, and pizza. All three of these things is the same thing you want to look for. If bread, pasta, and pizza are the reason why you feel like it's making it hard for you to lose weight, good news, I still eat all three of those things to this day. It's the flour that's being used to make it. You want to read the ingredients of the pasta that you're using, read the ingredients in the bread that you're using, and read the ingredients of the pizza that you're using, or ask the people making the pizza what kind of flour was used to make it. You want to eat bread made with flour that wasn't put through that enrichment process. You want to eat pizza made with crust, the crust of the pizza made with flour because pizza, the main thing about the pizza that was putting the weight on me, even more so than the cheese and the meat, was the flour. Because I cut out cheese for a period of time. I was weighing myself and meat. Both of them had weight on me, but not as much as the enriched grains. The enriched grains had more weight on me. And so the enriched grains was the bigger problem. If that makes sense what I just said, drop a yes in the chat. Pizza, You can still eat pizza, just make sure that it was made with a flour that wasn't put through the enrichment process. Same with the bread, same with the pasta. For example, like, let me show you, because I'm a visual learner. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Dang it. I thought we had what's the name in here, man? But well, I can do it like this though. I can show you like this. So this is pasta. Macaroni is just a type of pasta. It's just it's shaped in the elbow form. When you read the ingredients, you'll see right here, semolina wheat. Then you see niacin, ferrous sulfate, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid. So you know that this Mueller's in elbows is put through that ultra chemical enrichment process. So I started eating macaroni and cheese made with noodles that wasn't put through that enrichment process. And here goes an example right here. I hope you got one. Here we go. Right? We had already opened this package, but this is the elbow. I like the way these taste even better too. But look, on the ingredients, when you look at the ingredients, organic durum wheat semolina. That's it. Compared to durum wheat flour, niacin, ferrous sulfate, thiamine nitrate, riboflavin, folic acid. So it's the same with the, spaghetti noodles, lasagna, linguine, elbows, whatever noodle. You just want to make sure it's made with a pasta that wasn't put through that enrichment process. And I started losing weight still eating pasta. So now with the soda, somebody said something about soda, right? And soda's one of the tough ones, man. I did a video like the best substitution is like, because I like Sprite, is so when I really was craving a soda, I'll get carbonated spring water, right? And then I'll get lemons and limes and agave syrup. I did a video about this and I showed how to do it. And notice I'm cutting up this lettuce. Everything that's gonna go in this meal is gonna be plated on this bed of lettuce. So I'm getting this together right now. Let me chop that. But when I like for everything to be cut up real when I do this. So with the soda, that's what I did. Get a glass jar and then put squeeze the lemon and lime in there for probably half of each and drop some agave syrup in that and then mix it up and then drop that carbonated spring water, mix it up and drop some ice in that thing and mix it up and you'll be in there. But like Coke and all of that, man, it's one thing about carbonation itself actually leads to bloating and weight gain. Just the chemical of carbonation, you know what I mean? But that's if you drink that type of soda and you're used to drinking like Sprite and like Coke and all that, and you make that switch, you will start losing. And what I eventually did was I just cut soda out my diet and I switched out for the juice, and then eventually I went to just water. I went to the natural juice and then just water, and spring water, what I prefer. So I got some spinach right here. Sorry that I'm kind of getting sidetracked because I want to get everything ready to go. I want to get this lettuce mixture ready to go. Watch how I put this together, because I'm the salmon on the grill, slow smoking. We got the potatoes, the onion potatoes in the oven, roasting. And now here go the lettuce mixture that everything is going to get plated on top of. So let me focus back on what I'm doing. This is Cooking and Thinking Thursday. What I'm doing every Cooking and Thinking Thursday, when I do it, I prepare a meal that fit the principles of my book, Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It. It fit the principles of everything that I'm going over right now as we're talking. So we're cooking and we're thinking. We're making sure that we're using ingredients that taste amazing, that's going to help us lose the weight we want to lose. And once the weight off us, it ain't going to put more weight on us. You get what I'm saying? So it's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. And this is what we got on the menu. So now notice what we got. We got a green mixture of greens. Now, I'm going to just go kind of like toss this up. And I'm going to just get some of this out of here for me, because everybody's not going to be eating at the same time. And I'm going to put a flavor on this, and I don't want the leaves to start getting soggy. So I'm just going to, for my plate, I'm going to take some of this out. All right, so watch how this come together. Trust me when I say. Trust me. I showed how to do these potatoes already. I went over how I marinated the salmon. I went over how I grilled the salmon. It's on the grill right now, slow smoking. I'm taking about this much lettuce. All right. That was a mix. It was some mixed greens, and it was a romaine mixture that was left over, and some spinach. I cut it all up so it's not big chunks. And that's it. This is the base. I put it in here because now I put the flavor on the lettuce. All right, watch this. We got a little bit of olive oil. Drizzle it. Oh, shoot. Dang it, I knocked over this. Dang. I knocked over the glaze for the salmon right now by accident. So I got to wipe this up. Hold on. I wanted to put this on the salmon one more time too, man. That just boomed me. It's still going to be good. But I just lost some flavor because I wasn't paying attention. I just lost a little bit of flavor, man. You got to charge it to the game. Sometimes it happens, man. What are you going to do, cry about it? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do, cry about it? I can't do that. All right, so now I put a little olive oil on there. I got a little cracked black pepper. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of this truffle sea salt. I forgot this is a new pack. I got to take the top part off. This truffle sea salt will change your life if you never tried it. Just a little bit of truffle sea salt on this. And now I'm going to get I'm getting a lemon. Getting the lemon out of the fridge. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna get a lemon out the fridge. Because I'm gonna use some of this on that on these potatoes too, remember. So I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of this lemon. I'm taking the seeds out. A little bit of the lemon on this lettuce mixture. So we got cracked black pepper, truffle sea salt, olive oil. Now, this ain't mandatory right here. You can leave it. Matter of fact, let me not do too much because then it can start being hard to replicate. Red pepper flakes. Keep it basic and simple. This is all you need. That's all you need to put the flavor on that lettuce. It's the better lettuce. Everything gonna go on top of. I'm mixing this up. I set that to the side. Let me clean my station up because I feel messy right here and I don't like the way it feels right now. Let me clean this off. Let me clean up. Shout out to everybody on the live, man. It's all love. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursday. Every Thursday when I do this on a Thursday, whatever we cook, it fit the principles of my book, Life Matters, so let's eat like it. You don't have to sacrifice flavor to lose weight. I'm telling you right now. A false belief in my mind that made it harder than it needed to be for me to lose weight. All right? So this food is about ready to go. The potatoes in the oven looking real good. Let me take a look. Watch, let me show you one of the potatoes. We just vibing. That's how it's looking so far. These are the onion potatoes. Earlier on the live, I showed exactly what to do. Super simple recipe. Let me show you what I'm about to do because I don't want it to damn, there you go. I don't want it to stick to the bottom too much. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of just going up underneath it with a spatula and making sure it don't stick bad to the bottom. All right? Because these potatoes pretty much, they're ready. You can eat them like this, but I'm not going to do that because I want to brown these potatoes on the top. The bottom piece has already got a brown from the bottom of the pan. And now we're going to put the oven on broil and we're going to brown them on the top. Look how they looking. Watch how they look in about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to cut the oven on high broil. And this meal is going to be ready in a couple minutes. I'm going to make sure they're not stuck to the bottom unstick them, and put them right back in the oven. Got them potatoes looking. Ooh, trust me, I'm telling you, these potatoes is gonna change your life. You seen how I cut them up. You seen how I cut the onions up. And then all it is cracked black pepper, truffle sea salt, olive oil, and red pepper flakes. That's it. You seen how I use the season in the bag method if you was on this live earlier. And then when I'm done, I set it off with a fresh squeeze of lemon. I taste them to see if it need a little bit more salt, any more pepper. Squeeze a lemon, and we plating this thing up on a bed of lettuce with the salmon that's on the grill right now. Let me salmon. Hold on, I'm coming right back. Woo! That salmon looking fantastic. I'm mad that but it's still great. It's still fine. I'm mad because I messed up, and matter of fact, never mind. I'm not gonna do it. I'm trying to do too much while I'm on the. What truffle seasoning tastes like? If you ever had truffle, it just truffle salt. So truffles, I don't know how to explain it. Truffles only like truffles. It got a unique flavor that I like. The truffle salt, I like super much. You can put this. Listen, when we go to restaurants, my wife carry around this in her purse. You know, like you can get something from a restaurant and it'll be like, it'll be good, but it's like it's missing a little. Drop some of this on there and you straight. I'm telling you. Truffle sea salt. How long did the salmon take to cook? We cooking at, it's 6:45. I think I dropped everything about an hour. It's probably been on there for about an hour. I need soursop. You and me both, man. I'm about to find some. I'm about to put my mind on it when we get back from this cruise. I'm only about to jump on a family cruise. Me and my wife and our kids going on a cruise. We booked cruise to go to Haiti and Jamaica and all this. And then they, I guess because of the problem having over there, they rerouted the cruise to Mexico. I'm like, damn, man, I wasn't trying to go to Mexico, but I don't mind going to Mexico. But I wanted to Jamaica. I was like, man, I want to go to Jamaica. But anyway, so we're doing a cruise next week. When we get back from that, I want to put my mind on finding some soursop for real. I'm trying to get plugged in down here. I'm gonna find it. What pizza company doesn't use enriched flour? So here's what I highly suggest. And on our website, if you go to gonaturalite.com, we're starting to put options that are Naturalite approved with natural ingredients. Even then, I highly recommend reading the ingredients. Make it a habit to read the ingredients, because I could tell you a company and then 5 weeks out they could sell the company to somebody else and then they could change the ingredients. We've been programmed to look for brands. We've been programmed to be consumers, first of all. America is the number one consumer of the world. So we're programmed to buy things. You know, as soon as we get money, most of us can hold on to money for 2 seconds. We think about what to spend the money on before we get it. So we've been programmed to be like that. And then secondarily, we're programmed to buy brands that we recognize. So we make option-based brand recognition. What I did my best to reprogram myself to do is make options based on, and they hit me with the restriction. Again, TikTok stay hitting me with this restriction. What I've been doing is programming myself to options based on the ingredients and the quality. You know what I mean? I don't care about the name. I just care what's in it. How was it made? My live does not contain them. Yeah, TikTok beat me, boy. But it changed my life. I ain't gonna lie. TikTok was the first social that I popped off on, was TikTok. And then luckily, shout out Manny, man. Manny, I think his last name Fletcher, with collaborating. I actually met him at a Bitcoin conference. And he gave me some advice I'm so glad I listened to. He was like, bro, because all I was posting on was TikTok. He was like, bro, you need the same videos that you're putting on TikTok, you need to put that across the board on every social media platform. Open up new pages and post on every platform, because he was like, you don't want to depend on one platform. One platform might start tripping, and then what are you going to do? He was like, post it, content working on TikTok is going to work on the other platforms. Just post the same video across the board. So I was like, all right. So I started doing that. And I ended up going up on all the platforms. And so then just what he told me was going to happen, it happened. Because if we're dependent on TikTok right now, our business would have slowed down. But thankfully, we've been posting on our platforms. And so now it like multiplied and we put up an SEO and everything. So it just made everything better. All right, so now look, we about ready to get this thing cranked up. And then we're going to eat this meal. And I want to answer some questions. All right. Look at the potatoes, man. Look at the potatoes, man. These are the onion potatoes that'll change your life forever. Now, I gotta go and I gotta get these the salmon off the grill. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm coming right back. Commercial break. I'm on the grill. We about to plate this thing up and then we're gonna chop it up. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. We cooking and we thinking. Oh. Dang it. All right, here we go. Now watch when you see this salmon how it look. Watch when you see this salmon how it look. Oh my. I'm coming right back in a second. I gotta get the salmon off the grill. We got this salmon slow smoking. And it's looking real good. Now watch this. Right now, hold on. I got 3 more pieces to get off the grill. Oh, I broke a piece. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. All right, 1 more piece. And I'm coming. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here we go. Salmon on the grill, cooked on the offset heat. Look at how this is looking. Let me know in the comments how that's looking, man. Put some emojis if you would eat this salmon. I just slow smoked it right now while I was on this live. Oh my God, let me see. A piece of it fell when I was a couple pieces broke. But this is one piece that they hit me with another restriction on TikTok, dog. It's on my other page, hit me with a restriction. I don't know why they doing this, dog. Your live is not eligible for recommendation because it redirects users to purchase products outside of TikTok. Oh. And that's true. And I ain't even been saying to go to, but I do got my website. We got our website on TikTok. Wow. We got so TikTok, if you ain't selling your product on my platform, we don't even want you here. Which is their platform, it's their right to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at them. But that's what it is. So you could have just been said that. You should have just been said that. That was a different notification. So it's a mission though, like it's a mission for, we tried to set everything up on TikTok Shop. First of all, you can't get nobody on the phone. You can't get nobody on the phone. We tried to set up the TikTok Shop, but since I'm selling a book, it's more restricted. And then the topic of my book talks about, I don't even want to say the 2 words together, but like the loss of body size. Because TikTok, they're not with that. You can't sell any of those type products. Acalon? I know I just butchered your name, but I just seen the order come as love. So we got our website link in my bio on TikTok. So people are watching the live and then they're going to my page and they're clicking on the link, linking them to a Shopify page. So they're leaving TikTok. So TikTok like, no, you can't do that. So we ain't gonna show your live to nobody. Let me taste this salmon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here go the potatoes. Oh! Here go the potatoes. Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. Another one in the books. Oh, this salmon's so good, dog. It's so good. I marinated this with soy sauce, brown sugar, cracked black pepper, and red pepper flakes. That's it. I marinated it in a Ziploc bag for a few hours. I put it on the grill. I had one half of the grill, a Weber grill, one half with the charcoal. The other half, no charcoal. I put some wood, and I got them charcoals white hot. I put some wood along the edge of the charcoal on the edge so that wood will start smoking. Then I put the salmon offset from the heat on the other where there's no charcoal underneath it. And I closed the top and I just let it slow smoke for about an hour and some change. This was probably under an hour and 15 minutes. And that's how I didn't flip it. I didn't do nothing. Halfway through, probably 45 minutes in, I took the same marinade that it soaked in, that it was marinated in, and I glazed it down. I glazed it down. Now watch this. If you ever cook salmon like that and you never did it like this before, if you come like this for your family like this, and you cook these potatoes like this and you make this dish for your family like this, you're gonna get some respect. And get some more respect than you already got. My family love when I cook. They love it. They be asking me. I used to cook a lot more than I do now just because we getting so busy. I'm like, dang man, you ain't like you used to. I'm like, you're right. But don't worry. It's like riding a bike. So now, notice what I'm doing. I'm plating this plate on a bed of lettuce. Spring mix of lettuce, which chopped up. I chop up some spinach. We had some leftover salad, which was made with romaine lettuce, and it had some onions and bell peppers and stuff like that. I chopped all that up. I mixed it with olive oil, a little bit of truffle seasoned pepper, squeeze some lemon on there, and what else I put in there? I think that was it. And red pepper flakes. Now, I got this lemon. Let me taste. Hold on, let me do this. Let's take a look. Let's take a look how this potato look. This is the potato. This is the baked potato and onions. This recipe that tastes the best of any potato. Like when you cook this, get a piece of onion with it. Notice I got this piece of onion that then down, caramelized down in the oven while it was baking. All right? So this is the potato and onion. Let me taste it because I always do this first before I do anything else because I taste it. I want to see, does it need more salt or is it enough? Maybe a little more pepper. And then I want to see how much lemon do I want to squeeze on this, fresh squeezed lemon, because that is the last touch. I mean, it's pretty much perfect. A little bit more truffle sea salt, not a lot. I'm talking about a slight little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit more truffle sea salt on there, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this lemon so you can see what's going on. I'm gonna take this, here go the potatoes, and I'm just gonna drizzle this lemon over it like this. That's it. Here go the batch. This is how you finish it off when you take it out the oven. Not a lot, just a little bit of lemon, you know what I mean? Just the acidity just cut it in a real nice way. And that's that. That's that. Now, we go like this. I got my plate with the fresh bed of lettuce on there. And I'm finna plate up. I'm getting these potatoes, these onion potatoes, and I'm plating up like this. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays. You do not have to sacrifice good food to lose the weight you want to lose. But it is important that we're aware of the ingredients. And that's what Cooking and Thinking Thursdays is all about. It's just about educating ourselves, reading the ingredients, knowing what to look for, and loving ourselves more than the love that we have for the convenience of unhealthy food options. They call it a convenience store, man. You know, I love convenience, but at the same time, it can be detrimental and it can make us lazy. All right, so it's not as convenient to have to read the ingredients when I go grocery shopping. It's easier just to get what I know what to get and get up out of there. But I love myself more than the love that I have for that convenience. And there go the salmon. Wham. Hallelujah, way. Dinner ready if anybody ready to eat. Let me pray real quick. You wild faith, thank you for this food. Thank you for everybody on this live that's tuning in. I ask that you bless them and their family exponentially with happiness, healthiness, high energy, gratitude, and self-discipline to be aware of their thoughts and to control their thoughts, to think thoughts that are going to bring them into the life that they really want for themselves and their family. Because at the end of the day, I thank you for making it to be to where we have the one to bring ourselves to where we want to go, because that's going to make us more like, in your name I pray. Hallelujah, way. I'm about to smash this food. It's Cooking and Thinking Thursdays, and I'm about to go in. Now, you might say, why you put it on top of the lettuce? Because I have a little bit of lettuce with every bite. I'm about to answer some questions in a second. You know what I'm saying? So I get a piece of salmon, I get a piece of lettuce, and I get a piece of potato. I made like a little potato sandwich. Oh my God. Drop some emojis in the comments if this look good to you. Let me see who locked in. Marcus, what they do, man? Nikki, amen. All praise do. I receive your prayer. Thank you, Marty, man. It's all love. It's good to receive. We got to receive, otherwise it ain't going to work. I love that you have that mindset. What is your website? It's gonaturalite.com. If you go to my page, what is this? I think this is Instagram. If you go underneath my home page, if you go to my homepage, on the top underneath my profile picture in my bio, at the bottom you'll see our website link. If you want to go there and check it out, feel free. That's where we have our books and everything that we sell. You know what I mean? Can't make this. Thank you for your prayers. Blessings up. Thank you for encouraging videos. Discouraging. Keisha, it's funny that you said that, because that's probably one of the biggest blessings for me that happened in America, like in social media. I recognized I was trying to figure out social media, and this is how you got to do it. You want to take a little bit of everything. You want some lettuce, you want the salmon, you want the potato. Here go a little piece of onion. Put the onion on there. When you taste this, you're gonna love it, man. I'm gonna this on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to the live section, when I'm done with this video, I'm gonna make sure it's posted on YouTube so you can go back and you can watch it. You know what I mean? If you want to see how to cook everything, and you can just follow step by step. It's not hard. This is a simple meal to cook, but when you eat it, nothing about it tastes simple, but it's simple. But someone was saying thank you for making it not like encouraging us and not being discouraging. What I noticed on social media is how there's so much content where people are like, don't eat sea salt because it's high in lead. Don't eat natural flavors. Don't eat grains because our bodies don't break them down. Don't eat cows because cow milk, or don't eat cow milk or cows, because we're not supposed to eat animal flesh, and milk is for baby cows. Don't eat sugar. Don't eat salt. You know, and then it's like the end of the video. So when it's all said and done, first off, everything you listed I like. First off, I'm watching it, and everything's making sense. When you say don't do it, I'm like, dang, and they give some proof why not to do it. They don't do it, then they give some proof why not to do it. So I'm like, dang, I like that, but dang, that's crazy. Dang, I like that, but it's crazy. Next thing you know, the video over, and I'm like, well, dang, what can I eat? I was like, man, I noticed that's how people do content. Like, I noticed that, and I was like, man, I'm not going to do content like that. Like, if I'm going to say don't do something, I got to give you something that you can do. Don't just leave me hanging like that. I don't like that. Tell me everything I like, don't do. Everything you like to do. and in the video. Basically, to summarize it, don't do everything you like to do in this end of the video. Don't do everything you like to do because it's bad for you and it's killing you. Later. All right, dang. Dang. Anyways, if anybody got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, man. Are your books in the bookstore? Yeah, well, we got our website link on my homepage, gonaturalite.com, but if you'll see the link underneath my profile picture on all social forms. We also have our books available on Amazon. The book is called Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It. You know, we've helped thousands of people lose weight with this book. I make it simple to understand how to choose better versions, the right versions, natural versions, foods that we like to eat. What to look for in the ingredients. For example, salt. I want to talk about salt next. Besides salmon, what other fish you eat? So when it comes to fish, I'm going to answer that, then I'm going to talk about salt, because I know the salt thing is going to help people. It helped me, and I've helped a lot with this. So the fish. I only eat fish with scales and fins. So I wasn't always like that. But in 2020, I started reading the Bible. And I started reading it with the intention to, how do I say this? Like, I want to understand the principle. Like, when I came across a principle or a lesson or a mindset in the Bible, and I could see like the lesson in the story or in the parable or in the poem or whatever, or in the psalm, like okay, I get the point of this. Now, how can I apply this to my character and my life? So I was able to hear multiple successful people say that that's what changed their life. Because I started really paying attention to podcasts, and I was going deep into self-development around this period of my life. I kind of did off and on throughout my whole life, but during the pandemic especially, like, I worked on myself every single day. And so I read the Bible like that. And so in the Bible, it me out to find out that in the book of Leviticus, there's dietary laws. TikTok, I'm gonna come right back. There's dietary laws in the book of Leviticus. And so one of the laws is when it comes to animals out of the sea. If you're gonna eat an animal out of the sea, it needs to have scales and fins. If it doesn't have scales and fins, it goes against the dietary laws in the book of Leviticus. And that tripped me out. Because the first thing I thought about was catfish. I'm like, damn, I love catfish. Catfish don't got no scales. I know that for a fact. And then I thought about shrimp and crab and lobster, conch. I live in Miami. People down here eating alligator. That's what in the Bible they say, when the land animals, or animals that are both the land and water, that they can't drag their belly around, and they gotta have hooves. Gotta have hooves if it's the land animal. So alligator was off the menu. So I was like, damn, just think about all the things that I was eating. Then I thought about all the things I could eat, and because I was so curious to see if applying, because like I say, I was so many successful people that I was looking up to what they was doing. Like, I was studying people. And they was like, when they chose to read the Bible and applied the lessons of the Bible into their character as a man or as a woman, their life changed. So I was like, at that period of my life, I was like, man, I got real with myself. I had lost weight and everything like that, but I still was so far from, I'm like, man, I'm not too far from 40. I'm 42 now. I'm like, man, I'm pushing 40, and I ain't nowhere near where I want to be. So I was willing to try. I basically was like, okay, I'm letting everything that I think I'm not good enough. So I'm starting over from scratch. So when I read Leviticus and I seen the dietary laws, I was like, I told myself I was going to things that made logical sense and didn't measure the results. So I was like, okay, let's see what's going on with this. And so I stopped. So when it comes to, I stopped eating shrimp and crabs and conch and all that. So Like salmon have scales and fins, you know? But it was something else. Somebody said, I was going to answer another question. Oh, I forgot what the question was. I spent too much time on that explanation. My bad. Wow, you got me with that knowledge, scale fins, deep knowledge. Yeah, I encourage you to read the book of Leviticus, man. Like, read the Bible. Like, if you, it's a big book, and I get it's intimidating, and a lot of it is kind of confusing, and I get all that. Just try. There's gonna be parts of it that make sense to you, and if you're not already doing it, try doing it for a while and see if your life get better. Because for me, what happened was my life started getting better. It wasn't too long after and it helped too because spiritual guidance from somebody to understand how to kind of like decode the Bible. But I made a few key choices. I chose to start keeping the high holy days. I became aware of the difference between the solar calendar and the Gregorian calendar, which is like what everybody was raised on, like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and all that. And I became aware that the calendar was created initially by Julius Caesar, and then Pope Gregory tweaked it a little bit, and now that's the calendar. That's the standard calendar for the world. But you could look it up. This is public information. Before then, the world did not use this calendar. So in the Bible, what tripped me out was when I learned that piece of knowledge, and then as I'm reading the Bible, is that in the Bible there's a prophecy that man would seek to change. That already happened. Calendar is a way of keeping time. So that happened. So I started keeping the holy days according to the solar calendar. And then also what I did was I started keeping the dietary laws. I just talk about it briefly in my book. And the overall for the Bible is be a good moral. Understand what morality is, what ethics is, honesty, integrity. You know, don't say you're going to do something and not do it. Stay true to your word. Treat people with kindness, with respect. Don't be a pushover either. Stand up for what you believe in as long as it's right. You know, these type of principles are all through the Bible, you know. So I chose, because before I was lying, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really the most moral, ethical person. I would make exceptions for money or for sex or different things that I wanted. If I felt like if I was honest, I might not get it. So I bend the rules and, you know, stuff like that. And I just looked at myself and applying what I was learning, and it changed my whole life, man. I think that's what went wrong with America. Because I remember when I was young, I'm 42. I remember when when I was young, my young years, like first grade, second grade, third grade. I remember hearing older people that was like in their 30s and 40s, 20s, 30s, 40s was like saying how they really don't like how they took the Bible out of school. Or they remember when they remember when it was like you would learn lessons from Bible in school. I remember hearing adults talk about that. And then I remember hearing people saying like they really don't like how they stopped letting prayer happen in school. But then in my mind also it made sense because everybody don't believe the same way. So they made sense to us when we were young, but we got a young, impressionable mind. My whole thing is the Bible made my life way better than anything I learned in school. Why it ain't a class on morality and ethics in school? Think about if you never thought about it, why isn't it this is why we took our sons out of school. We homeschooling our sons now. Why isn't it a class on ethics? Not one about what it is to be a good person, how to be a good person. Not one class on ethics and morality. And there he is. The legal system is based on ethics. All laws, you could trace it right back to the root of ethics and morality. Good versus bad. Right or wrong? All laws you could trace back to good versus bad. If you're being a good person or a bad person. When you break the law, you're doing something bad, something that's on the side of morality, on the other side of morality. What you can end up going to jail for and getting punished for in the real world, we're not even taught about it in school. That's crazy. Like, that don't even make logical sense when you think about it. It almost seemed like a setup. But then again, I'm probably looking too deep into it. I'm probably just looking too deep into it. I'm probably tripping. That should be taught at school too. You're right, it should be taught at home. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and then it's game rigged at the same time. Like, that's why it's on all of us as individuals, and I believe this. It's on all of us as individuals to work on ourselves to be impactful to the people around us. But we got to first work on ourselves as individuals, and we have to have a foundation of knowledge. And that foundation of knowledge, in my opinion, it should be based on morality, ethics. Like, that should be the foundation of everybody's knowledge. If that was the foundation knowledge, then there wouldn't be so much war, it wouldn't be so much fighting, it wouldn't be so much debating and quarreling and problems. Like, if everybody was taught and understood the importance of morality, and that was the common thing, the world would be a much better place. But so now, when it comes to money, that's the priority. And then money and financial literacy ain't even taught in school. Out of school, you're trying to figure out the money because you need it. And then if you don't money figure out, but you done figured out sex though, and then you have a kid, then maybe another kid, and you're still trying to figure the money out. So the kids go to school. By the time they get school, you done worked all day. Then they got homework that you got to help them with. I'm tired. I'm already tired. I really don't want to help you with your homework, but I got to. I help you with your homework. By the time that, I got to cook or go get something to eat. By the time that's all done, I want to just down, have me a couple glasses of wine and watch a couple shows and go to sleep. So it's this theme of like, oh, parents need to teach their kids. I get it. That's true. We have to teach our kids. But then at the same time, like, everybody tired, man. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody trying to figure it out for real. That's why just so much information that wasn't taught in the years when our brain needed to be taught. The information that we were supposed to get taught, we just not taught it for most of us. Some people are. You tell the difference in the way their life play out. You know? You can tell the difference, man. You see? They need to teach financial literacy. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm that's why I named my page Jabez Invest. That's my that's gonna be the last content that I got like a 20-year plan. And so like financial literacy is gonna be the second to the last of my content. But my last basically the second to the last of my content. Like right now, the first thing I focused on is weight loss, and now I'm focusing on agriculture and weight loss. And then going through this process, we created a business, and I'm learning how to manage money and structure businesses to be able to sell them and all the things to be able to really teach somebody about money. I'm learning in real time right now. So I have 5-10 years of consistency, seeing real numbers and smart investments. I could help people with financial information. So then that'll be next. And then there's one thing that I want to focus on after that I'm not going to speak it publicly, and I'm just going to do it. It'll probably be in my 50s and 60s. But so that's to the point. What I'm trying to make is that's why I chose Jabez Invest though, because that's what I really want to do is help people make money. Because I've been trying to figure out money my whole life, man. I know. It's been a lot of trial and error. I love when you teach me how to grow my own food. I love that. It need to be more of us that's growing food. It's very important. It's very important. And it's not even hard. Like, I used to believe that you needed to have a green thumb to grow food. Like certain people are just blessed with it. But it ain't that. It's just, you just need to understand the 4 basic principles. is sunlight, water, soil, and climate. And every single plant has a relationship with those four things in different ways. Every plant's relationship with the sun ain't the same. Every plant's relationship with the soil ain't the same. Every plant's relationship with water ain't the same. And every plant's relationship with the climate ain't the same. So with climate, for example, I love mangoes. They grow real good in Miami. They're not going to grow in Wisconsin. They got a bad relationship with that. If you bring a mango tree up to Wisconsin and put it in the ground, it will die. So you need to understand the plant's relationship to the climate, or they call them growing zones. I talk about all this in my book. The more we grow, the more we'll see everything we need is free. Because it really is. It tripped me out because we budget. Now we got to, we look at our financial statement and all that, and we keep everything organized and weighed, like over the last couple of years, I never really paid attention how much money we spend on food. We spend a lot of money on food, man. A lot of our money go to food. And it tripped me out because food is free. Same source energy that created all of us, created the earth and the stars and the moon and all the plants on the earth and all of that. Nobody got to go to the bank and put money in the bank for a seed grow. It's going to grow. And then we so programmed into wanting things quick that a lot of us feel like I don't have the patience to grow a garden. But it's not just that. Like, why everybody should be growing a garden, in my opinion, is because one, if you got a house and you got a bathroom, to me, if you're not growing a garden, I feel like I wish that it would be looked down on, like you tripping. Like, like when I went to school, if you had like old shoes and you wasn't fresh and all that, people made fun of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was things that was looked down upon, like people used to rank and like make, like how people would make fun. It'd be funny and people go back and forth ranking each other, and it was funny, and it'd be like groups of people doing that. And like, if you ain't had no comeback or you couldn't rank somebody that was ranking you, you would look like people look down on you for that. But when I look back on life, that's crazy. It make no sense. That's just you. But people we in high school, in middle school and high school, just mean to each other. Ain't nothing cool about that. How is this funny and cool? Like, my kids doing it, they still ranking. Like, and I get it, like it's funny, but at the same time, it's not though. Like, because sometimes there's a few people that was real good at ranking, they'll rank me, and I won't have nothing to say back, and then people would laugh and all that, and I feel bad. I'll be mad. Sometimes I'll be mad. I want to fight. I like the way it feel when everybody was laughing and all that, man. I ain't like this. So then I go home and I'm thinking about it. The point I'm trying to make is, I've been and people looking down on that. I wish I would have grew up in a way where it's like, it was like I'm hearing stories of people didn't have a garden, and so people looking down on that, like, how you ain't gonna have a garden, bro? Tighten up. Like, everybody in the community got a garden. I got cucumbers, potatoes, cucumbers. We got onions over here. You ain't got nothing to trade. Like, what is you doing? Tighten up. To me, that makes sense. If everybody in the community was growing something, then we could trade. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you know that how the food was made. It tastes way better. And the grocery store wouldn't have so much leverage. They would have to come down on them prices. They going to have to come down on the prices, because this is how it works. When somebody knows that you need them, they could charge you anything. They'll charge you anything. As soon as they find you don't need them, the numbers start coming down. They can charge you anything and tell you anything. It's like that. It's just like that in the street. Like, you might be selling whatever in the street. Let's say you go and you get, let's say a certain amount of something for $1,000, right? You go to the person, you get it for $1,000. You know you can bring it over here. You can sell it for $1,500. You go, you get it for $1,000. You bring it over there. You sell it for $1,500. 2 days later, the person call you back. I need another one. You call them. I need another one. You go get it for $1,000. You bring it to the person for $1,500. You make $500. So that this goes on and on for a couple of months. The next thing you know, they say, the person that I used to get it from, the price is going up. It's $12.50, bro. Damn. And you're like, damn, $12.50.
Yeah, bro, 1250, man. Numbers going up and I could do about it. So you like, dang, you call the other person. Oh man, the prices went up to 1750. They're like, well, I can't do 1750, bro. Let me know when it's back at 15. And then you're like, okay. By then I could still make 250. You call them back. All right, bro, I got it for 15. They're like, all right, bet. I need one. You go back, you get it. Now you're making 250. Now the person know they could charge you 1250 instead of 1,000. 2 months go by, 1350, bro. Can't do nothing. Numbers going up. Now I can make $150 now. You see what I'm saying? So now the person is like, okay, they need me. They don't know nobody else. They keep coming back. I'm going up on the numbers. I'm making even more. They need me. So then you might be like, you know what? I don't like what's going on. Let me start talking around, see if I can find less. Then you talking around, next thing you know, someone else, oh, I can get it for you for 900. What? Get it for 900. Now you're going to the 15, you're making 600 in the middle. So now the person, now you're going to the person for the 9, they might hit you back up. Oh. They might hit you up. Oh, what's happened, man? I ain't see you in a minute, man. What's going on? Oh, yeah, I'm getting it for 900. I'm to tell you, bro. I'm getting it for 900. It's the same thing. I'm getting it for 900. If you get less than 900 or 900, let me know. Oh, yeah? For real? Yep. All right, bet. About a week later. Good news, bro. I can get it for you for $875. And the number's going down. But okay, a couple months ago it was $1350. Now it's $875 days. So what was you getting it for in the first place? So I say all that to say, that's going on in the streets, right? So imagine what's going on with the grocery store. Imagine what's going on with gas stations. Imagine what's going on with phones, with Wi-Fi, with water, electricity for the house. They playing the same game. They don't know where to go get electricity. They don't know what to do. And we got the set up. You gotta come to me to get electricity. So what you want to do? You want to just not have power? Light bill $1,000. I remember our light bill's been going up crazy right around. Drop a 4 in the chat if your light bill been going up consistently the last 10 years. Every year the light bill go up. Every year go up. Every year rent go up. Every year food prices go up. You know? So when I really look at the problem, when I look at it right, I look at it a piece at a time. Like, what's the most realistic place to make a difference? I feel like it's with the food. We start reading the ingredients and we start buying all these chemicals that's in the food, and we start buying options that's more natural or all natural. The more of us that read the ingredients, and of us that shop like that, and are more intentional like that, the companies that was selling just all these chemicals and trash to us, they bottom line go down, and they're gonna need to offer different products with more natural ingredients. Otherwise, they're gonna have to go out of business. You get what I'm saying? So that's one way to affect the change, and then to affect the price, keep going up and up and up, because people like the people that's selling food, they know. The majority of the population don't even know how to grow food. The majority of the population believe you need a green thumb. Meanwhile, families have been passing down the knowledge how to grow food generation after generation after generation after generation. They sitting on millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, thousands and thousands of acres of land. If they know how to grow the food, I can learn how to grow the food. It's not like they smarter than me or anything. They just learned what you needed to learn to grow the food.